Right, today we're going to take a bit of a look at classic 80s film by John Hughes, Pretty in Pink, yeah? We're going to do a bit of a deep dive in here and see if we can't pick apart the very, very interesting relationship dynamics that are going on in this film, yeah? So let's have a look. So, from left to right in this image that you can see, we've got Blaine, who's played by Andrew McCarthy. Got Molly Ringwald, of course, in the middle. Can't remember what her fucking name was in the movie. Anyway, we'll call her Molly for now. And then on the right, we've got Ducky, the character Ducky, yeah? Now, Ducky is played by John Cryer. And Cryer is a very fitting name for this guy because, well, we'll get into that later, but he is an uber cuck. Anyway, let's take it from the top. So the basic synopsis, yeah, is Ducky and Molly are like friends, yeah? They're like best friends, and they're sort of like rejects, you can see from the fashion here that, they're a bit out there by 80s standards. Whereas Blaine on the left, he's a bit of a, he's a yoppie basically, but, he's also a nice guy. But back to the relationship between Ducky and Molly. Basically, what you've got here is a classic friend zone situation where Ducky has got the hots for Molly, and he has no way of concealing that. Molly knows that he likes her. She's well aware of that, and you see evidence of that throughout the film. But Ducky just cannot seem to break out of the friend zone. Why is this? Why has Ducky friend zoned himself so hard that he's just got no way of getting out of it? He tries to be the nice guy, and he is genuinely a nice guy, and he's actually quite a funny and charismatic character. But the thing is that he just does not get what is attractive to Molly. He just cannot break through. He cocks himself out again and again and again throughout this movie. Whereas Blaine, by 80s standards, he's seen as a bit of a catch, He's good looking, he's got that boyish, charming face, and he's got his sort of, his wealth and his status behind him, which Molly pretends to sort of be immune from. She's like coming from the working class more, like Ducky is. And, that's one of the core kind of themes of the film, is like Blaine and the relationship between Blaine and Molly. It's interesting because it's also like they're transcending their class status in a way, and that gives the film another aspect. But for this commentary, we're just going to look at the relationship dynamics between the three. Now, the thing about Ducky that is interesting, right, is there's another character in this movie, yeah, Iona, who is basically a little bit older, but she's Molly's boss, I guess you could say, but she's quite, young at heart, and she's a fun character. There's a scene where Ducky, he's all cut up about Molly friend zoning him, and he drops, he actually makes out with Iona, like as a revenge against Molly. But he does it in a way where Iona is like, whoa, she's actually quite turned on by it. And there's an important lesson in there for Ducky. When he stops, he's got an epic case of one-itis. If one-itis was a deadly disease, Ducky would be in the fucking emergency room, yeah? Now, he drops that for an instant with Iona, and he acts like a fucking man. He takes control without... It's like he turns into a little bit of a bad boy. And Iona, you can see her getting wet. She's fucking loving it. She's like, I know I shouldn't like Ducky because I know that he's a cuck, but I can't help my biology responding to the way he's just fucking grabs me and made out with me. And Ducky takes absolutely no lesson from this interaction. He's still cut up about Molly, and he's what Nietzsche would refer to as a lower man. He doesn't have the ineffable qualities that Blaine has. He doesn't say yes to life, and he doesn't meet it on his own terms. He's opportunistic, and he's resentful, and he's vindictive. And you can see that in the way he treats Blaine like a fucking piece of shit. Whereas Blaine is just like, He doesn't see Ducky as an enemy. He sees Ducky as just a guy. And so he's Nietzsche's higher man. He's aristocratic man, yeah? And Molly, she's turned on by Blaine because of this. But Ducky can just not get it through his fucking head that he needs to say yes to life. And he needs to man up and do basically what he did to Iona, but do it to Molly. You know, I think, to be honest with you, he's been in the friend zone. He's dug himself so fucking deep that it will take a miracle to get out of it by that point. But yeah, anyway, I thought I'd just break down Pretty in Pink because it is a great film and there's a lot you can actually learn from that. Now, there is one wild card in the film, yeah? And that is Steph, who's played by James Spader, brilliantly played, and he is like basically the very obvious sort of yuppie douche, yeah? And he thinks that he's got a claim on Molly just because of his status in life. And Molly, she sees right through that, yeah? Whereas Blaine, he seems to be able to put it all together. He's got the resounding yes to life. He's got his good looks, yeah? And that's not to be ignored. But he's got this confidence and this naturalness, yeah, that the other guys in the film just don't have. And therefore, he gets Molly at the end of the day, and the others go home empty-handed, presumably to have a big fucking wank over Molly. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Cheers.